And let me just tell you a little bit about Kendra's accolades and what she's achieved in her business. Well, she joined Mary Kay in 1977. She became a sales director in 1980 and a national sales director in 2005. Let's give it up for that, national sales director. She has earned the use of 17 career cars. She has been a star consultant for 130 quarters. She was on the National Court of Sales and Unit Clubs 20 times. And she is a Mary Kay multi-millionaire with over $2 million in commissions. And but more than her accolades is just the person that she is. And when you hear from her, you'll know that her heart is so big, and she cares, you know, just for all of us at Mary Kay. And what she is going to be in just a month. I mean, we're going to be, our national positions are just overlapping 1 month, because in 1 month she is being promoted to the position of Ameritus, and she will, I'm not using the R word, right? I don't know what you want me to call it, but she will be graduating into the next position of Mary Kay, and we won't use the R word, because you know what? Nobody wants to retire at Mary Kay. That's one thing I found, is when people reach that level, they don't want to retire, they don't want to leave, but I'm just so excited that God put our paths together this past year, Kendra, and you are just a woman of God, and I just love being in your space, and I appreciate you being here tonight, and you're going to love her. Wait till you hear from her. So thank you. Let's give it up. Please stand to your feet as Kendra Crist comes to the stage, National Sales Director.
Run across many people that do, unless we're working together very good. But it's so amazing. I love my life. My suit isn't here yet. I've just come to Sarasota 3 days ago. My husband and I are down here for this season, and this was part of our dream. And those of you that were born here, really? Bless you. You know, we planned our entire lives to live in your town, and now we're here. Oh, I just praise God for that. Anyway, we lived near Chicago, and we were driving into Chicago on the Skyway, and the snow, this was a couple years ago, snow was blowing horizontally. And we're driving, and we get to the toll booth where you have to give your $3 to Mr. Skyway Man so that you can cross the Skyway to get into the city. So the snow is blowing like this, and I'm in my pink car, and I come up, and the window comes down, and he's got a muffler, earmuffs, hat, gloves. You can just like see this much of his face. And I said, with my $2, I said, "How's it going?" He goes, "I'm living the dream, ma'am." I love this guy. What a great sense of humor. He's living the dream. That was not the dream. That was not what he was born to do. I mean, but he was making the most of it. And I thought, how many of us can actually say we love our lives? I've been with Mary Kay for 37 years, and when I was introduced to the product, I did not own a skirt. I wore jeans, hiking boots, a flannel shirt. My skin looked like an Italian sausage pizza. I was 28 years old. I was a school teacher, and we lived in the foothills of the Rocky Mountains. So when someone said, "I think you would be great doing Mary Kay," I did that thing through my nose. I did because I didn't get it. I didn't think I looked the part. That was 37 years ago. That was 17 pink Cadillacs ago. I was in an orange VW and had a motorcycle. And so, I don't want one of those stupid pink cars. If I ever would earn one, I would never drive one. Are you kidding me? Really? It's been amazing. And now, as part of my refirement, I'm refiring my business. Anyway, it's the end of the Mary Kay road, and now I get to step to the other side of my dream. I've worked with this business for 37 years, and I've loved it. And now I'm 65. I know. And guess what? God does not kick you off the pier. You're done. That's it. And the company is not giving me a gold watch. They're giving me a black Cadillac. Yes. Amazing retirement package. And I get to go on 4 more of those dream trips. We've been on 13 of those trips with Cheryl all around the globe. Oh, my word. I'm living the dream. I'm truly living the dream. No muffler around my head. You know, that's in the north they call it a muffler, not like on your car, you guys. Just stay with me on this one. Anyway, really, really, really excited. So, is there ever something that you really, really wanted? Really, really wanted. And you thought about it, and you thought about it, and you thought about it. Well, there was a retired couple standing down by Sarasota Bay at sunset. A lot of us were down there to watch the sunset. Pretty amazing. And they had just had a little spat. They were upset with one another. And they were standing there on the shore, and on Lido Beach, they went across the bridge over to Lido, and a bottle came in. A bottle, and they said, oh my goodness, here is a bottle, and the gentleman took the cork off, and a genie came out of that bottle, and the genie said, I'm going to give you 2 wishes. And the woman, she had just said something that was not very flattering to her husband, because she was mad at him, and she said, oh, well, okay, I just wish that my husband and I could go on a round-the-world cruise. She had 2 tickets in her hand. Oh, she's so excited. She got what she wished for. And the husband, who was still mad at his wife, said, yeah, I'd like to go on that cruise, but with a woman who's 20 years younger. He was 90. So, be careful what you wish for. Be careful what you wish for. Well, it's not true. But I got a true story. But in Mary Kay, it's amazing. So some of us who are already in Mary Kay, we say, oh, I just want to do what Ruth has just done. And I have watched Ruth for the last 11 months. Oh my goodness, Ruth, this has just been so exciting to watch you not just wish for something, but to actively pursue it. You know, if you wish for something with no action, that's just a dream. You're just dreaming about it, and nothing is ever going to change. But when you begin to put action to it, amazing things will happen. Well, 37 years ago, after saying no to the Mary Kay opportunity 6 times, I said no 6 times. I reluctantly signed my agreement because my husband thought I could make an extra $50 a week and not charge his birthday gifts to his visa. we sound like we're not very bright women, but we are bright. We just... So, I did not go to any new consultant training because I was a college graduate. So there was no need to go. So my first party was 0. And my second party was $7.50, so I quit. A smart woman would simply quit. That's what I thought I was. And then 3 months later, my husband said, how's that Mary Kay thing going? I said, it doesn't work. He said, excuse me, the person who brought you in is making $3,000 a month. What is the problem? And I said, well, I didn't have an answer. And he said, what did they teach you at training? And I said, I didn't go to training. All they teach you to do is smile and squirt. And he said, in his wisdom, apparently you have not learned how to smile and squirt. Why don't you go to training and find out what this is all about? And so reluctantly, again, I went and realized this is a very simple business. It's not an easy business, but it's a simple business. And when I thought, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this, I began doing it the right way. We moved from Colorado to Indiana. I'd been in business about a year and a half, and we moved across the country. And I didn't want to move back to Indiana, Bob's hometown. Did not want to move back there, but Bob said there's some things more important than the climate, and that's our family. So we moved back there and fell in love with a farmhouse that we could not afford. And I said, I'll make a mortgage payment. And Bob said, doing what? And I said, Mary Kay. Then he did that thing through his nose, like, are you kidding me? You can't, Bob. I said, I can't do. If I would hold 3 parties a week, I could make this mortgage payment. So I started doing the math. An average party, $200. Your profit is $100. Okay, if I did the parties in those days were $100. Forgive me, parties in those days were $100. If I did 3 of those a week, I would profit $600 a month. 3 parties a week, $600 a month. I could make the mortgage payment. Bob said, okay, here's the deal. If you don't have to touch our savings, this is it. But if you have to touch our savings during the next 6 months, you're gonna have to go back to teaching. I said, okay, bucko, I can do this. I didn't say bucko, but in my brain I did. And so there I was. He said, but before we sign this mortgage, Kendra, you only know 4 people. I said, I know, but they each have 2 friends and they like me, and I know that they will each introduce me to 2 other friends and I'll be fine. And that's what happened, and I started doing these parties, 3 a week, and then at age 31, I found out I was pregnant with a baby we thought we'd never had. We'd lost a baby, and I had been unable to conceive. All of a sudden, I'm pregnant and sick and don't want to get out of bed. And for the first time in my life, I realized that if I don't get up and push through this nausea, that I'm going to use up all of our savings. And in the fall, I will have to go back to teaching and put my baby in the arms of some other child caregiver, give my best 9 hours to someone else's children, come back and pick him up and have her say, oh, he said his first words today. So not gonna happen. I'm gonna get this sorry self out of bed. And for the first time in my life, I became purpose-driven. I was no longer circumstance-driven, and my dream began to take on, it became a reality because I was not working because of my circumstances. I was being driven by my purpose to be a work-at-home mom. A work-at-home mom who was going to have an impact on that little boy who is now 34, followed by his little brother who's now 32. Isn't that amazing? Mary Kay paid off that house in 12 years. We then built a new home, sold the first home, and I paid for the difference in 5 years. Then, 8 years ago, we purchased a home here in Sarasota. Mary Kay paid for that one in 3 years. Then we sold house number 2, built the home that we're in Indiana, and I paid for that one in 5 months. We have lived debt-free for 12 years. It is so free. Absolutely so free. So thank you. So in Mary Kay, I have lived on the profit from my sales, and we have invested and banked our director's checks. So this is what I have learned. I've learned that in Mary Kay, consultants and directors, earn as much money as you possibly can. Number 2, pay off your debt. I pay off my credit card every night, and I'll tell you why. Because I did what Cheryl did. I got in trouble with credit card debt. And there was a time where I had $32,000 as a Cadillac director. I had $32,000 in debt. Because I wasn't making money? No, because I was mismanaging it. None of those cards were in my husband's name. But in 18 months, I paid off that $32,000 and then took him out for dinner and told him it was all over. Because it's easier to beg forgiveness than ask permission anyway. So, and he said, we were having dessert, and he said, so what's the big surprise? So I told him, and his fork is mid-air. And he said, how did that happen? I said, I don't know. But I know it'll never happen again. And